Hi, this is Ben Ivy, the Fulfillment Artist, and in this video I'm going to teach you why you need to remove toxic people from your life. So first of all, what are toxic people? Toxic people are the people that doubt what you do, they don't support you, they bring you down, they create doubts in your mind, they're just toxic, venomous people that need to go, really. Right? So let me give an analogy that better describes what I'm trying to present to you today. So first of all, I want you to imagine that in life, every person has their own garden, okay? And in their garden, everyone chooses what they want to plant. Now, some people want to plant redwood trees, willow trees, massive trees that, just seem to cover up the whole garden. They expand their garden. They basically build a forest of all these huge trees. Other people want more delicate things. They want pretty flowers. They want things that are nice, special. They just have these small little segments of things. And everyone gets to choose their own garden, right? Whether it's a forest or whatever it is that they want to create. Now, as people start to go about this, it takes time for forests to grow, right? If you look at a tree, it doesn't take 5 weeks to grow. Right? Unless we're talking about a Chinese bamboo tree, which I think in 6 weeks grows 10 meters, but it spends 5 years underground. Okay, so either way, a lot of nature, for example, takes time in order for it to grow. So let's imagine that you've planted seeds and you've prepared your garden just the way you want it to be. How would you feel if someone came along and started trampling all over your garden? I mean, just stamping on the ground, kicking over the plants that you've tailored. You spent years, you water them every day, and they're kicking them over, and then they plant weeds without you knowing. So you don't know this, but one of your favorite, flowers or trees, the one that you're really looking forward to, suddenly dies out of nowhere, and you have no idea. And you've been waiting on this for like a year, watering it, doing the right things, and now suddenly it's dead, and you realize it's because someone planted a weed. Right, you would be absolutely furious if your life was about your garden and all you wanted to do was make everything happen. Now that garden is your dreams. And for a lot of people, we think about, okay, I want to have this, and it'd be great if I could, be a millionaire, I could help billions of people, I could change the way people think about nutrition. I mean, there's so many different things that people want, and that's why all the gardens are different. Now, toxic people are the people that are going to come into your life and often without you knowing, plant these seeds in your garden. Because the fact is what we're consciously aware of and the unconscious, there's a huge difference. Now, whether you're aware of it or not, these people are influencing you, and you've got to become more aware of who you spend time with. And do you know the worst part about this? Is that when you have people that come around and they plant doubt in your mind about what you're capable of, or they think, can you really do that? Are you really capable of that? And you've heard it all before, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, there are going to be people that doubt you. And when you can get into a mindset of, I'm going to prove this person wrong, I mean, that's great. But a lot of times, these things come on in unconsciously, right? Someone may say something to you and you may think about it and you think, really? Really? I'm not sure. And it's that withering doubt that sort of stacks on. So if these toxic people are causing doubt in your mind, that in and of itself is bad enough. But the worst part is toxic people have toxic friends. There's a reason they're toxic, right? And if you think if you're the average of the 5 people you spend most time around, when you get these toxic people, there's a reason they're like that. I'm sure they've got a few friends which are great, and a few friends that are probably very, very toxic. And the more you spend time with this person, the more you're going to meet some of those influences that he spends time with, and they could influence you in a good or a bad way. But the truth is, if you don't want to be like that person, and you don't want to have that toxicity, you want to be changing who you spend your time with. And you want to be removing these people from your life. Often when people go on these self-development journeys, you're going to have people that doubt you, right? I had a client the other day that she went to a UPW event, okay? Everything was going great. She was really excited, Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins, and there's loads of people that doubted her. Right, now the truth is, I imagine that through time, even though she may spend time with these people, she may not spend loads of time with these people. So when I say remove toxic people from your life, there may be some people that you can't remove. Right? They could be family, they could be very close friends that you're bound to bump into. But you can limit the amount of time you spend with these people. Because whether you're aware of it or not, right, they are going to affect your garden. So moving forward from here, I wanted to offer another analogy to show you the difference that happens when you start spending time with people that positively influence you. Well, for this analogy, I wanted to use an example of boats. I love my boat analogies. And let's imagine that you've got your boats and they're in the sea. Now, when you get positive people around you and they start helping you and encouraging you, it's the equivalent of a rising tide. Now, what I mean by this is if you imagine that all the boats and all your circle of friends, as you start to rise, they'll start to rise as well because they'll see you. And their expectations, they're like, well, if he can do it, so can I. And that believability helps you all rise. That's why when you see a lot of successful people, they spend a lot of time with other successful people and they all rise together. So what I want you to think about is which people can you spend time with that are going to act as that rising tide and help you move forward in your life in a very different way. So with that said, like the video if you found it helpful, comment if you have any questions, make sure to subscribe or scan the QR code if you haven't already, and I look forward to speaking to you very soon.